Don't forget to check out Nerd to Know Bases here on Phoenix 92.5 FM with myself, Darragh O'Connor and Bryn O'Rourke for everything nerd culture, video games, comics and so much more. That's Nerd to Know Bases, 5pm to 6pm every Saturday here on 92.5 Phoenix FM. Okay, so you're catching us on the podcast and you want to find out, well, what if I want to listen live and I'm not in Ireland? Well, the TuneIn app has you covered. That's TuneIn. Just look for Phoenix 92.5 FM and you'll be able to check us out live. Don't forget, if you want to contribute to the conversation, go over to Twitter. WViDesk is where you can reach us. Don't forget to chat in live every Tuesday, 8pm to 9pm on Phoenix 92.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Blanchardstown Centre, this is Phoenix FM.
You're a bug, Mr. Wordsworth, a crawling insect, an ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning.
I am a human being.
Words, Mr. Wordsworth, that have no substance and no dimension, like air, like the wind.
I don't care. I tell you, I don't care. I'm a human being. I exist. And if I speak one thought aloud, that thought lives, even after I'm shoveled into my grave.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions that you inject into your veins, the narcotics that you call literature, the Bible, poetry, essays of all kinds, all of it an opiate to make you think you have a strength when you have no strength at all. You have nothing but spindly limbs and a dream, and the state has no use for your kind.
Don't worry, this show is documented. The WrestleView International Desk.
Alright guys, welcome to Phoenix 92.5 FM. You are listening to WrestleView or WViDesk episode 323. So we're getting up there. My name is Darragh O'Connor and I'm joined on the line by my co-host Mr. Bryn O'Rourke. Bryn, welcome back.
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Very good, very, very good. Actually, no, kind of sad, believe it or not, because I just read something that really sucks. A bit of crossover to Nerd to Know Basis, but anyway, Star Wars Knights of the Republic Perion, which was the fan remake, has been officially killed by Disney. No. They were sent a cease and desist letter saying, hey, knock that off. And it sucks because it looks so good. Like, they were remaking it in the Unity engine and it looked all nice and pretty. But no, Star Wars and Disney had to kill it. So that really sucks. But
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's upsetting. But anyway, not as upsetting as the reunion of D-Generation X.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that's going to happen, guys.
Yeah.
Yay, said nobody ever. Here, is anyone even interested in D-Generation X in 2018? Or 2016? Or 2006?
Yeah.
You know, ever. Like, here's the thing, right? I'm a huge Triple H fan, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it is.
And Sean is good. You know, Sean is good.
He had some good matches with Triple H.
And with Austin.
Oh, no.
Brett.
Well, you know, it was a 4 out of 10 with Brett, but... but, no, like, to be fair, yeah, Sean is one of the best of all time, legit. Yeah. But for some reason, right, when they do the DX thing, it never clicks with me. I never really liked DX with Shawn Michaels. You know, I liked it with X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws. That's the kind of DX that I actually...
That's kind of what was around when you started watching though as well, wasn't it?
It's not when I started watching. I started watching a little bit earlier on, but it's when it actually started making a cogent impact on me as such.
Yeah.
You know, when I could remember that I was watching wrestling or that I started watching it weekly instead of just being on or watching it with family or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, like, yeah, I get it. You know, it was big and important, but for me, when Sean comes out, I'm like, for me, your run, you know, I wasn't a huge Shawn Michaels fan, really. But when he came back in 2002 and had that spectacular run, that's the Shawn Michaels that I really like, and that's where I'm like, you know, yeah, man, your career here is fantastic. It's really good, great matches. To this day, has one of the best matches in wrestling. Well, he has loads of great WrestleMania matches, but for me, one of my favorite matches is with Kurt Angle. You know, and I got to see that in Dublin. Yeah. I actually got to see that match in a house show in Dublin.
That's crazy.
which was great. When house shows were good, you know, when Shawn Michaels was wrestling for Angle. But the weird thing about it is, recently, there's, you know, there was all this kind of, what's going to happen? And Shawn Michaels said, I'm not returning. I'm retired. You know, there was rumors that he was going to wrestle AJ Styles, and I know you got
like him with Brian was like the first one he's going to come out of retirement to fight Brian.
Yes,
and then last year was with him and AJ. Yeah,
in San Antonio.
Yeah, which, like, I mean, look, it's just more of a case of, like, I was saying this to you off the air earlier.
Yeah,
that, like, you know, he won't come back to face AJ, but he will come back to have a really mediocre match against Kane and Undertaker.
But here's the thing, though, right? But
Saudi Arabia did literally take a truckload of money and dump it on his lawn.
Yeah, so, and look, guys, we're going to get a bit controversial here. So, you know, it's after hours.
Yeah.
But this whole, what are they calling it?
Crown Jewel.
Exactly. This is. You know, like, I liked the Greatest Royal Rumble. I thought, you know, it actually probably was the Greatest Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah.
But this whole thing is
it had Titus's World Slide, and
it did. And I also like the time it's on. I think it's a very generous time for us over here, so it's a nice thing to kind of watch on a Friday. But man, come on, like, this is WWE doing this. It's so crazy. Like, doing it once fair, doing it second. This is on like a couple of weeks after the Revolution pay-per-view. And again, the same problem. There's no women on this show. I don't even think women are allowed to be shown on this show. And it's totally dictated by the Saudi royal family, who pretty much are the government.
Yeah.
You know, this is WWE kowtowing to a totalitarian dictatorship, basically.
Well, it's interesting as well, because, like, there's been, I don't know if you've seen the headlines that have been coming out for the last 24 hours.
No.
There's a little bit of a geopolitical situation that's starting to emerge, and
I am shocked.
Involving Saudi Arabia, and WWE are getting a little bit of criticism over their.
Heavens! Why would they have criticism for it? Why would somebody say that this is morally bankrupt?
Well,
it might be a little bit bad.
It's not so much like for the stuff that has been laid out as criticism regarding women's wrestling or anything of that nature. It's more to do with the fact that there may have been a Turkish journalist in Saudi Arabia, and he may have gone missing at the hand of the Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Stop.
Yeah.
You mean the guy who has the death penalty as a thing that happens in the country, and people can disappear, and there's secret police and all? You mean to tell me
allegedly?
Okay, allegedly. You mean to tell me that might be something that, you know, is being used against covert journalists in the country? Wow, that's crazy. Who knew?
Yeah. Allegedly that is happening.
Allegedly.
I do not want the Saudi government coming to find me. Thank you very, very much.
You know, it's like if they run a show in China and then they're like, oh yeah, you know, just, you know, to forget all that stuff that's happening in China, all the horrible death camps, alleged death camps, and alleged secret police, and alleged slavery. You know, it's like, guys, come on, you can't do this. You know, it's like, you can't do this. You can't. You know, there's blood on your hands here. You know, it's like, you can't be.
It would be like if they were promoting a show in Iran and then are shocked when there's bomb threats.
Yeah,
you know?
It's like, you know, and the thing about it is like, look, I get it. I know why they're doing this. The Saudi royal family, the Saudi royal family are like, here's more money than anyone on the show has ever been paid for one. They're funding the whole thing. Like, literally, WWE are not paying anything here. This is 100% paid for by the Saudi royal family. So I totally understand it. You know, it's part of the Saudi's government new plan to kind of make it not appear so horrific.
Yeah.
And say, hey, look, we're
and they're really upsetting Al Qaeda.
Yeah,
really
they are.
upsetting.
They-
Alan had it called the Greatest Royal Rumble sinful, and I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of the WWE. At sometimes
Never call it simple.
Sinful is just such a harsh and scathing criticism. The smarkiest of smarks would not have thought that about that show.
Yeah, and look, when you're sharing an opinion with Al Qaeda, that's probably you're probably on the wrong side, guys.
Yeah.
So calm down, smarky fans. Oh man, dude, a podcast of Al Qaeda reviewing Crown Jewel. I want that. I'm gonna be hilarious.
Actually, I just read I want Gogglebox, but with members of Al Qaeda.
Oh, it'd be great. It'd be fantastic.
Oh
And just swatch over to the Attitude Era for a little bit and be like, what do you guys think of this? What do you think?
Oh, come on. You don't even have to go that far. You just put on the Mae Young Classic.
But
you must hate this. It's women being presented competently.
It's women competing. Look at them. They're putting on good matches. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better than D-Generation X versus the Brothers of Destruction, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
But seriously, there's so much. And we're having a bit of fun with this. Sorry if we offend anybody, but you have to have a bit of fun with this because
it's so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. The comprehension. It defies comprehension. Like, I can't believe that the same company are doing this twice in a year while all this stuff's going on. It's literally insane. But again, it is solely for money. This whole thing is just.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same reason why they put the belt on Jinder Mahal last year, solely for money.
Yeah, but it didn't
spoiler alert, that didn't work out very well for them.
No, like Indians are a huge fan of wrestling.
Turns out they didn't care about Jinder like the rest of us.
Yeah, like they love Great Khali. They do not like Jinder Mahal.
But, I mean, Great Khali, legitimately is their version of Andre the Giant, so it makes sense.
He is still a national hero, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but poor Jinder, everyone keeps hindering him, but he's still the funny one, so it's okay. He's still the funny one.
He's still the funny one.
Yeah, 3MB for life, But okay, let's looking ahead of this. So Roman Reigns is going to put the belt up versus Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. So once again, they're going to try and make Roman Reigns look strong, and who cares?
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't know how much longer I can kind of repeat myself at this point when it comes to Roman. It's just he's going to win. I don't really see anything else happening here.
Yeah.
I see about 17,000 Superman punches. And I think that's being a conservative estimate on how many we're going to see.
Yeah, I think he'll lose the run of himself a bit and be like, you get a Superman punch and you get this Oprah hand.
Yeah. I don't see either of Braun nor Brock winning.
Yeah.
Well,
they might. We thought that Roman was going to win at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and he did not.
Yeah, that's true.
So it is something that, again, what I would like to know here is, are WWE booking this show, or are the Saudis booking the show?
Are those smarky Saudis booking the show?
Yeah, because here's the thing, it's kind of like, a spoiled child going, I want him to win, and then they're like, well, we better let him win. So
who's your favorite wrestler? Who's your favorite wrestler, Prince of Saudi Arabia? I want him. Who? Brock Lesnar? No. Roman Reigns? No. Who? James Ellsworth.
It seems like title. It seems like Shawn Michaels was. They brought Shawn Michaels back and they threw a dump truck full of money at him. So, I'd expect him to walk out and super kick someone and go, I have the belt now.
They'll do a Money in the Bank ladder match stipulation on this Triple H match. You'll be really annoyed because Shawn Michaels will win.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? If Triple H won this fictitious thing, I would be like, man, awesome. Totally go for it. I fully support this. This is cool. But no, they won't do that, you know. But, you know, here's the thing. Let's get Triple H as the WWE Universal Champion and the Universal
Make Triple H champ again.
Yeah, because, you know, he needs to be. It's been too long. It's been too long. What?
Oh my
I mean, I
God.
don't know why you're against this, man, you know.
Because it just doesn't need to he's won enough championships.
Listen, hold on. Does he have a championship now?
Yes. It's called being one of the most it's called being one of the most important people in the company in terms of hierarchy. Yes.
But he doesn't have, like, the physical belt, so...
Yeah, he doesn't need it. He can literally go, "You're the champ." That's more power than the belt.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just... It's something I just can't get over, you know? It means too much, you know?
Means too much. Oh my God.
Oh, and I lose all my credibility by marking out Triple H. But, you know, it is what it is. But here's the thing. The show...
I love how, like, any critical or logical reasoning that you usually have...
It just goes...
evaporates into the mist that Triple H spits out of the match.
But here's the thing. If the show did end with Triple H holding a belt, any belt, you know, 5 stars. So
his belt that he took off to whip someone with. He's just holding it in his hand.
Oh my God! But do you think this match will be any good? Like,
no.
That's the real question. Like, do you think it'll be even worthwhile? Because I don't see how it would be.
I think it will be a massive disappointment once the entrances are over. The entrances will be spectacular.
Yeah,
and that will kind of be the end of my enjoyment. It's basically like watching any Finn Bálor match where it's very clear he's going to lose. Where it's like, the entrance is awesome. Oh, no.
It's like, well, that was good while it lasted.
Yeah. I enjoy this until I realize that he's, like, against Roman. Oh, okay.
It's like, there's no way. Yeah, that's Finn Bálor in a nutshell. It's like, awesome. Yeah. Oh, no, he's going to lose.
But, like, Finn is just... He's very much... in this like era, he's very much the guy where he's there's no charisma to him really, but I just love watching him perform because he's so good at performing. It's just he's like paint drying on the microphone.
Yeah,
you know.
But if you need a guy to lose,
well, then you've got Ty Dillinger, who's really good at losing.
Yeah, but we were talking about this earlier on today. Like, even with Sean, he took the super kick like a champ a couple of years ago. Yeah, but
Ty. In my opinion, Ty could be a really good mid card level he's a guy I wouldn't think he'd be any bigger than being like in the running for mid card championships. You know, I think he's really good in that regard. Like, definitely cast iron tag team championship with the right partner, but I don't see him ever getting like a singles run. But that doesn't mean you can't do anything meaningful with him, you know.
And what I would say on this, you know, we have a couple of weeks out from this, so we will actually kind of keep an eye on any developments in this, because it is, you know, it might not actually happen, but you know, there are some interesting stuff on this as well, like AJ Styles, Danny O'Brien. Yep. That would be a very good match, but also the WWE World Cup. First time ever? Yeah,
that the names in it so far aren't filling me with like, ooh, I have to watch this tournament like every other tournament on the network has.
Yeah, well, like already, like there's a name in it there that.
Yeah.
I just,
you know, I know how you feel about Randy Orton. You know,
I actually like Randy Orton. He's nice.
I know.
Guy,
yeah,
you know?
It's really nice when he tries.
Yeah,
which he won't do. He definitely won't do here.
He might, if they're giving him a dump truck full of money, he might actually show up. Like,
Randy Orton doesn't need, like, Randy Orton's relationship to money is very similar to Triple H's relationship to belts. He doesn't need it anymore.
I didn't think Shawn Michaels needed money either, but here we are. Like, if Ric Flair...
that, but there was that storyline where he owed a lot of money to JBL, so I don't know.
But, like, if Ric Flair shows up, I'll be like, well, this makes sense. Yeah. You know, but... I don't know.
Like, basically, like, I think anytime that the words "dump truck of money" are said anywhere in the world, Ric Flair's ears just perk up, and he's like, "What? Is someone saying something that I need?"
He's like, "Oh, this will fund another marriage."
Another marriage.
That man just loves being married. You know, no, he loves getting married. I don't know if he loves being married. But
no, I definitely think it's the former rather than the latter.
He should just go out more if he likes the day. You know, just kind of. You know, just.
No, but if he likes the day so much, he should just like live in Vegas and just like be like a witness at those weddings.
It's like it'll be way cheaper, Rick. Just stop marrying.
Great day out for him. You know, I mean, he's getting older now.
But we will keep an eye on this. The show is going out on Friday, November 2nd, 2018. So we got a couple of weeks. But I do want to talk about what happened last week, Bryn. And this was from Melbourne in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
The WWE Super Showdown on October 6th.
Super duper showdown.
Super duper showdown. So this was a very different show. It was okay. You know, I have to say, I kind of was caught off guard when it was starting. To be honest with you, so I kind of popped in halfway through, and then I left briefly because I popped in the middle of the Bobo Cena match. I'm like, ugh. So I jumped back in around.
The bit before that match was fine.
Yeah, that was very good.
Also, like, it's weird to say it, but Bobo has really good chemistry with Kevin Owens.
He does. Bobo's a fantastic wrestler when he's not talking.
Yep. Or thinking about golf.
Well, he's always thinking about golf. The interview made it abundantly clear that man's brain is filled with golf and everything else.
When he's doing spears, he's really just thinking about his short game.
Yeah. I suggest feather touch. Use power drive. And that's why he does the spear, guys. That's what he's thinking of. He's playing, Luke Cabarro's pudding challenge. So that's what Bobo thinks about, you know, nothing else. Everything else is second to that. Yeah. But overall, you know, I really enjoyed the AJ Styles Samoa Joe match.
Yeah, it was really good.
Very good.
Really, really good.
The Shield versus Braun Strowman, Dolph, and Drew McIntyre, it was very, very meh. But it's, you know, the only thing they can really do, kind of wheel out the Shield for the Aussies.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, very good. Like, I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan at all. Like,
all 2 minutes of that match, but it was great.
Yeah, like the atmosphere was something else. But
it was just very fun. It was just very funny to to just see it like literally just get caught in a 2 minute in like a small package so quickly.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, right? Like,
it's just for the story, though.
That was it. You know, that's why it was great. And you know, again, I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan. You know this, but I even was like, that's cool. You know, and it sets up obviously the match in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But you know, on to the main event.
Yeah.
You know, and
wait, hang on. Are we talking about the actual main event or the main event?
We're talking about the only match that mattered.
Yeah. Also, we're talking about the Cruiserweight Championship match.
Okay, well, what did you do?
You know the one that got the biggest reaction of the night?
Not for me.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of the Cruiserweight Championship match?
Really, really good. Really, really good. They basically just put over Buddy Murphy as like a massive physical presence in the division. The fact that literally since Cedric showed up on 205 Live, no one kicked out of the lumbar check.
Yeah.
And then it made for a great false finish.
I was surprised though that Cedric
Buddy won.
Yeah, because like they seem to have put so much into Cedric that they're like, no,
Yeah, well, I mean, like they kind of laid it on thick as well because they're going like he hasn't been beaten in 365 days, and all that kind of stuff. And it just, I mean, like, look, I've seen Cedric perform since 2012, and it was really nice to see him actually win a championship for once because he's always been a very, very solid performer. He's not he's not the best on the microphone.
We don't have to be.
No, he doesn't have to be. He's just, but like in terms of like his the ring work he does, he's fantastic. And he's been I've seen him as a heel. He's not the best. He's not the worst. But he's just his fight from under, like the fight from under aspects of his babyface work is so solid and so well done. And it helps that like his moveset, especially when he's trying to ramp up for his comeback, does get quite aggressive. It works for him. And himself and Buddy have really, really good chemistry together, which is always nice to see. And like, I mean, Buddy's been in WWE for a while now, and it's nice to see him, especially in front of his hometown, get a big win. Was very cool. But
it's also kind of weird that like they put someone over in the hometown because usually you don't do that.
But they did it twice on the show. Like the Iconics won their match as well.
Good point. Good point. So maybe it's changing in WWE.
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. They did it on one show. We'll see how things go.
Fair.
I mean, it was very interesting with the Buddy Murphy Cedric match because like I remember seeing there was like a Twitter poll of going, "What was your match of the night?" Where there was like. Because on Twitter you can only do like 4 options for a poll.
Yeah.
So it was stuff like the AJ Joe match, the Shield versus Braun and McIntyre and Ziggler.
The correct answer.
Triple H, Triple H and the Undertaker, and the women's title match, which was also really good. And then the comments are just like flooded with people going Cedric versus Buddy all the way down to the point where Drake Maverick made his own poll, where it's just the only options are are 4 different options for Cedric versus Buddy.
But again, dude, the WWE are they're going to push.
Oh yeah, they're going to push their main brands.
Their main brands, and the Cruiserweight. It's not the main brand, and
it's an offshoot. It's borderline Ring of Honor.
It's the most indie you're going to get on WWE mainstream television. And to be fair, it's a match that I really enjoyed. I'm not gonna say I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. I was expecting the result, but I was totally.
I mean, but if you see those guys work at all in any way, I mean, like it's 205 Live. I think since they brought in Drake Maverick, they've figured out a formula for that show where it is enjoyably different from the main brands, and it works. It works really, really well. Yeah. It's just like there's just like that crippling feeling that happens every now and again with it, where you go, "Oh, it's actually not canon." Like the way that like Drake Maverick is also managing the AOP, and it's barely even acknowledged that he's the GM of this show.
It's canon. It's canon to those who care.
Yeah, but it's like it's canon in the same way that promos from WWE.com are canon, which is not really.
Not really.
Like I mean, even I was one thing I was going to say earlier was like there's a Brain.com promo that Daniel Bryan did a couple of years ago, where he was like, he'd beaten someone with a small package, and he was like, "Do you know how many people over the course of my career I've beaten with a small package? Hundreds. I'm so good at using the small package that in my hometown of Aberdeen, Washington, I'm known as Mr. Small Package." Yeah.
See,
he's really bad on the mic, apparently.
See, that's the Daniel Bryan that I wish we got, not the B+ player.
Yeah, it's the guy who was obsessed with bears.
Yeah, exactly.
With wrestling bears.
But okay, so on to the Triple H Undertaker match. So this match was not good.
No. The entrances, though.
The entrances were unreal. The entrances were awesome. Triple H being alone. So the match gets 5 stars, right? But,
Look, it's 5 stars.
but like the match was not good. It's just I was marking out incredibly. Like as soon as Triple H's music hits, that's it, man. I'm just like, you know what? Give that man, the belt, and that's all you need to do.
Honestly, the only way that I would mark out for Triple H at this point is if he came out to My Time instead.
Oh, yeah, even better. Yeah, that music is actually so much better.
That would make me lose my mind.
My Time is actually a much better tune than the Motorhead song. Now, I do like both, but My Time is just it's fucking great. Like so. Yeah, Undertaker had a great entrance and, it had that feel stuff. But I want to say this now, a lot of it was kind of like
waste of time?
Well, it was a complete waste of time. But a lot of the oomph was taken away by Shawn Michaels being there and by Kane being there.
Yeah.
And I didn't... for a while, it didn't hit me that that's what was happening. And then I'm like, wait, why is this different? Oh, yeah, okay. It was cheapened. Completely by, no matter who wins here, there's going to be another match. Yeah. And at the time, we didn't know that, but they telegraphed it to such an extent that you're like, okay, this is not the end. So a match that was supposed to be the end of an era is now
the end of an era again.
Again, with someone who was retired. So it's going to be like the end of an era again for reals this time.
No, seriously.
I'm super serious.
We can't afford to have them wrestle again.
It's just it's very WCW-ish. And I mean that in all the bad ways. Like, they had the young guys there, and instead of focusing on them, even with the pole, instead of having Cedric and Buddy being on the pole, really showcasing that. They're like, oh no, or even showcasing, AJ Styles, who's the WWE champion. They're like, actually, we have Triple H and his mate and The Undertaker and his mate wrestling. So, kind of speed up a bit. It's like, if it had been Triple H versus AJ Styles winning the belt, that would have been fine. But it was because they had...
Or Triple H getting eaten alive by Samoa Joe, that would have been fine too.
Well, anything with Triple H is fine to an extent, but it was the add-on that they had.
Nobody's getting eaten alive by Samoa Joe. Stop! He's already dead.
Like poor Samoa Joe. It's you haven't ruined him like TNA ruined him, but
he did hurt his foot against Jeff Hardy, though.
He did hurt his foot. He did
hurt his foot,
but he'll be all right. It's like, come on, man. The guy disappeared in a van and just appeared randomly. So he got kidnapped and somehow he was okay. Yeah. So I think our boy Samoa Joe will be okay.
Yeah,
but overall, the direction of WWE lately, it's a very strange one. You're watching the show and you're like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know where the direction is. It feels like somebody is playing WWE 2K18 and messing with the universe mode.
Yeah,
that's what it honestly feels like.
Totally.
It's exciting because it's what, ironically, the opposite of what we normally complain about.
Yeah,
it's a unique and different, but it's so weird at the same time. And it's because of these shows. It's because of this. It's because of Crown Jewel and because of Evolution that they have to kind of be like, we need to kind of change this because we don't really know what we're doing.
Yeah. As I said, I'll always say, I wish it was more fun and interesting. The thing is that, they've definitely got the interesting part down, but it's interesting in the David Lynch sense of the word, rather than reading an article full of intrigue. We're going, ooh, we're like, oh, brilliant! I have no idea what's going on.
That's exactly it. It's Homer watching Twin Peaks. Yeah, brilliant. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I feel like when I'm watching shows, even week to week. Because you can kind of watch WWE from pay-per-view to pay-per-view and be okay and kind of catch up.
Yeah.
Even watching it now, I said to you in work today, I was like, have you watched the show live? And I did, and I'm still like, I have no clue what's going on. It's such a mess. It's such a cluster that as we're progressing towards Evolution. which is on the 28th of October, so it's going to close now at the end of the month. By the end of that, we will have a much clearer picture of what's going to happen in Saudi Arabia and what the big storylines here, because we still kind of know what's going on, but Cena coming back and doing the stuff with Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens possibly becoming a face.
Yeah, although we do actually have, I did read an article just before we came on the air about Kevin Owens, and unfortunately, it looks like he may be out for a while.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
He needs major knee surgery. I think it's knee surgery. He might be out for 4 to 8 months. So that could be, I mean...
That's a WrestleMania misser as well, which is even worse.
Yeah, I mean, he could, I mean, it's 4 months, so he could be back in time for Mania. But that's like, if things go really well.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it looks like he's going to be pretty much out until, like, you're talking about late spring, early summer next year will be when he comes back, which is... I mean, with the way that they're building towards like their big 4 shows now, that could be okay because that means that we get SummerSlam out of him. But it's just a shame. It's just a shame that he would miss Mania. If he's back in time for Mania, he's got a pretty much tailor-made WrestleMania storyline against Bobo. So that's something at least.
I have a bit of update actually on Crown Jewel.
Yeah,
it appears that according to Ringside News, it appears that the Saudi Prince is actually booking the show.
No way.
So here's the thing. Brian Alvarez commented on Wrestling Observer Live that Punk will not be coming back for any amount of money. Right, so he's not coming back for this show.
For any amount of money.
Yeah. However, it does appear that they made some kind of offer.
To him. Yeah, that would have been... that would have been interesting, but Punk is too busy just making sure that he has no friends. So, like,
yeah. So, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny that they're even going that, and it does seem like we have confirmation that this show is literally being booked by Saudi Arabia. And also, there's a good article on CageSideSeats.com called Cup of Coffee in the Big Time. How can WWE move forward with Crown Jewel? And it's going through the ethics of this show in a very, very clear way. It's quite good. It's going through pretty much everything we said, along with a hell of a lot more, guys. So if you want to read that, I would really recommend it because it's pretty damning. It's pretty damning, and it's why we decided to make fun of it, because you have to. But like. I'm taking that out. I'm excited to see what's going on in the show, and it'll probably be a very good show. But it's still like WWE are throwing everything up in the air right now, and I don't know where they're going. But WWE have also announced that NXT UK will begin streaming on the network in a couple of days. So I don't know. Have you been keeping up on NXT and its UK branch?
I've been watching. I'm trying to keep up with NXT week by week, but it's hard. It's hard to kind of keep up with it when my schedule is now so full. Yeah. I mean I kind of hit this plateau with NXT where I used to watch it week by week, but I'm kind of finding that not really enough happens on the weekly shows for me to kind of
justify it.
To keep me interested. I'll still watch their takeover shows because they're always great.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that happened like relatively recently was Tommaso Ciampa winning the title. I think it's on this week's episode. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's this week's episode where Aleister Black is going to come back and announce who attacked him and all that kind of stuff, because they've been doing a big mystery angle around that for the last few weeks, which has been really fun because they've kind of been able to showcase different people in a slightly different way, where one of the really fun things that came out of it is Regal basically just does not know how to handle how crazy Nikki Cross is, so he just goes she's just crazy and just shrug his shoulders
it's with that show in particular, it's kind of hard to like WWE in general. It's kind of hard to see where it's going. So I think when we get to Survivor Series, we'll have a clearer picture of what to watch and what not to watch. But again, like all we can do, our schedule is pretty crazy. So we're now at a point where
it's trying to fit that and Lucha Underground in is proving to be such a trial. And like when Lucha Underground is a better show week to week, you gotta watch Lucha Underground.
Well, here's something that has gone completely under the radar, Bryn. Guess what this Sunday? Well, full disclosure, we're recording this on the Thursday.
Yeah.
So this will have already happened.
Yeah.
But guess what's happening this Sunday?
What's happening this Sunday?
TNA, damn it. Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory is happening this Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that Impact was still a thing.
Yeah. Now, that's not very fair because the actual matches are quite decent, and I'll do a review of it next week because obviously by the time it goes out.
Oh, I'll definitely watch it because like last time I watched Impact was earlier this year, and it was really good, really good.
But I'm going to run through the card, and you can you'll be able to see the quality of shows here. The LAX versus the OG. Mm-hmm. And it's in a concrete jungle death match. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to find out. Austin Aries versus Johnny Impact for the Impact World Championship.
Class.
Ohio versus Everything, which is Jake Christ, and Sami Callihan versus Brian Cage, Felix, and Pentagon Jr.
Ooh.
In an OVE match. So that's going to be something else.
That's going to be very violent.
Oh, yes, it's going to be extremely violent. Eddie Edwards versus Moose in a singles match, so that'd be pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Tessa Blanchard versus Ty Valkyrie. That's going to be unreal. That's going to be fantastic. Guys,
it's friggin' brilliant.
Oh, man. Tessa is great, and it's... Oh.
Yeah.
So that's
unreal.
That's for the match. So that's for the Impact Knockout Championship, and then a tag team match of Matt Sydal and Ethan Page versus Rich Swann and a partner to be announced.
Okay. Well, I can guess who that's going to be.
Yeah. Let's not spoil it. Let's not spoil it.
Yeah. Let's not spoil it, but I really want to.
Okay, go on.
I just can't pack it in there. That's the problem.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well,
that was good.
That is good. All right. Yeah. So if anyone didn't catch that,
obviously
you're referring to Pac, who was Neville, who left WWE there a couple weeks ago. And he made his debut...
for Dragon Gate.
Yeah.
Dragon Gate. As part of Red, who are like the heel stable for Dragon Gate.
Yeah. And that was pretty cool. He looks very happy to be where he is.
He's actually like got that gusto that he had when he first turned heel for the Cruiserweight division.
So and no cape though.
No cape, but you know what? He doesn't need it. So that's fine.
That's fair.
You know, much like Triple H doesn't need a belt.
Triple H always needs a belt. Two things Triple H needs: belt and water. That's it. Yeah. So,
No, but he clearly doesn't need water. He keeps spitting it out.
He just has it to look cool. That's all. Man,
no, he's just like, I need good water. This water. It's just
Actually, right. Actually, on that point, while we're kind of we have this hanging in the background, I want everyone to do an experiment for me. Watch a current WWE hype package video, right? Then watch it with the sound off. Then watch it with metal, like listen with a metal soundtrack.
Yeah,
it's a different experience. Like the current WWE package videos are actually great, with the exception of their music. It just kills any kind. And this hit me when I was watching the Hell in the Cell one.
Yeah,
it's like they're going to a beach party.
Yeah, but it's even like, I mean, the big difference between like watching NXT and watching the main
exactly.
That the music actually sounds like music you would actually get on any other wrestling show.
Yeah, like here's the thing though. Actually, the Control one will be the Hell in a Cell video promo. Watch that, and it's literally like take away the wrestling. If you're just listening to music, it's like you're in a club or at a beach party or something. Like I don't get the sense that they're going to hell. I don't get the sense that it's going to be a violent show.
They might be going to heck, but that's
exactly. But that's why, like when you stick on a metal song or something like that, you're like, oh, this is so much better.
But you don't even have to go like that heavy. You could even if you literally a good experiment would be to take like one of the last themes that NXT used for one of their shows was Lord of Flies by Crane Hill. If you just use that song and just apply it, it's just like you go, oh yeah, I'm much more interested in this now. Like it's ridiculous, but that's very much how they've packed the show out. It's just not very, it's not very inspiring.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I understand what you're doing it for a broader appeal. Not everybody's into metal, and that's totally fine. But again, that's not what it's about. It's about the actual atmosphere of the show. Like when they bring out Flow Rider or Snoop Doggy Dogg or whatever, it's like I don't. It's just it doesn't fit. It's very ill fit.
Yeah, the thing is that
Machine Gun Kelly. Is that the guy with the thing on his face?
I can't remember.
I don't know. He's some sap.
The thing is that there's plenty. There are a few different genres that do really, really work well with wrestling. It's just a case of when you're trying to present anything that's anyway combat sport orientated, it kind of does limit the musical purview to having at least the atmosphere of some kind of aggression.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to have a song that's talking about how a song a really basic example of a song that just would never work would be using that Time of My Life song from Dirty Dancing. Just doesn't fit, But if you were using so even if you use something like Take the Power Back by Rage Against the Machine, it fits a bit more because it's just more aggressive, you know?
But for example, the UFC song, that band, they're not a good band, but that song works incredibly well.
Oh, yeah.
And even the dynamics of cutting to it, so they cut when they're editing to it. Any video package with that, and it works so well. And you can do the same thing because the actual natural rhythm in a metal or hard rock song allows you to actually create these pivot points, for example, right? And here's the thing. There is a huge crossover with metal fans and wrestling fans of a certain age for a reason. It's because back in the Attitude Era, a lot of metal songs were in wrestling. Yep. And one of the songs that, my favorite video package of all time, right, is Unforgiven 1999. It's the six-pack challenge one that's before that.
Yep.
And the music in that was Fear Factory and System of a Down.
Yep.
Right? And it's awesome. It's you can see it online, but they've taken the music out. I still have the VHS rip of it, so I can go back and watch it and everything like that. But it just, the way they had it done, it just told such a great story. Yeah. And it was.
It's even when they used My Way for. For 17.
Yeah.
So great. But
even when you're listening to those tunes now, it's ingrained in your brain because you just have seen it so many times. You're and also actually 1999 to 2001 had some Let the Bodies Hit the Floor as well.
Yeah, but that's that song, they caught that at just the right time before it became overblown and overused to all hell. That Drowning Pool, man.
Yeah, Drowning Pool. Yeah.
Lord, that album was awful.
It is awful, but it's also awfully listenable.
Yeah,
as in you will listen to it and go, "That's not bad," and then you're like, "No, it was like Puddle of Mud." Puddle of Mud are atrocious, but that one album has 4 good songs on it.
For people, so for anyone who hasn't listened to Puddle of Mud, the easiest way I can explain them is Puddle of Mud are so bad that people would rather listen to Nickelback.
Their 4 songs are better. I would listen to their 4 songs over Nickelback.
Sure. But this is the thing: is that most people would generally rather listen to Nickelback than Puddle of Mud.
That's fair.
They would just go if I'm gonna have my butt rock, I'm gonna have it in the most dilute form, dilute bland form.
And they are the definition. And they are the definition of butt rock, And the thing of it is, Puddle of Mud, Control was also used for Survivor Series 2001.
Yep.
It's weird when these pivotal butt rock tracks, or even like new metal and metal, because they all came along at a very specific time that kind of it cracked the code as such with wrestling and how to present it. And I get that was the main culture at the time, but having it in such a way that it's so diluted, like I'm sorry, Flow Rider and Machine Gun Kelly do not sell violent combat to me. They sell ghetto
mediocrity,
gangster light.
Well,
this is pretty lame, I just don't understand
if you're going to use like that kind of gangster stuff.
Use gangster rap.
Yeah.
Actually just go for it. Like,
there's actually like legitimately good aggressive rap that could be used.
Yeah, here's the thing, if you want to go that road, actually commit to it. But and it is the dilution, as you said, because we went from Anthrax providing the music for Raw to a much more diluted version to eventually Nickelback.
Yeah, and then Papa Roach.
And then Papa Roach. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, and then Papa Roach. And it just got more and more and more diluted. And the same thing happened here. So they're trying to be like, okay, well, look, we're hip with the kids. But, hello, fellow kids. But they won't actually present something that creates an atmosphere. Like, you can have like, the most hardcore metal, the most hardcore rap, and it does pretty much the exact same thing. It sets up a atmosphere of, well, these guys hate each other.
Yeah.
But it's UFC do it well, and they would kind of be the...
Yeah, well, we also saw last week that, despite the fact that there's a massive bloated show in Australia, the best wrestling angle happened in UFC.
Yeah, oh my God, let's talk about that. So anyone, for the listeners that don't know, we have about 15 minutes. So for the listeners that don't know, let's end the show with this. Go for it.
So there was a little fight last week. You might have heard about it. It was for the UFC event where Khabib, can't remember what his last name is, won't even attempt to try and pronounce it, fought against Conor McGregor. And he was defending his lightweight title against Conor. And he comfortably, decisively beat him in the fourth, over the course of 3 rounds, and then choked him out in the 4th round.
Yeah, Mr. McGregor has now been memed.
Yeah. But he's been, McGregor was always had a history of tapping out super quick to stuff.
Because he has no ground game.
Yeah, but it's also like, some people have said, have argued that, he's doing it to protect his career and stuff like that, which is like, look, you know what? That's a very legitimate thing, but there are some things you just don't need to tap out to so quickly.
Yeah, it makes you look like an absolute, know what.
Like, if someone has a 45%, if someone has a 25% chance of being able to cinch in a heel hook on you, tap out. I understand why, because you can break your hip, you can get your hip broken. But if it's, in the case it wasn't even like he had it fully cinched in. He had him he had a crank on his jaw.
Yeah.
So it's it is an escapable position. It's not wise to try to escape, but it is escapable. But it was a case of he got tapped out, and then Khabib celebrated, and what seemed like an overzealous celebration quickly turned into an assault when he attacked one of McGregor's coaches.
Yeah, so basically what happened was after the end of the match, someone jumped the cage, attacked Conor.
Well, Khabib jumped out of the cage, and then one of Khabib's friends jumped into the cage
and attacked Conor.
Yeah.
And then, it was just from there it was just an absolute nutshell.
It was like a pull-away brawl. Conor jumped out of the cage and attacked people. And it just
it's ridiculous.
It literally was a WWE angle. Straight up. To the point where I was going I'm sure that they're trying to make this real, but I've seen this too many times.
What happens now is the glass shatters and Stone Cold comes out with a chair and takes everyone out. This has happened before. This is wrestling 101. And
because Vince McMahon wanted the old Stone Cold back. Oh man, it just it's so hard to it's just so hard to process it when you're just immediately just break into cynical mindset of going, this isn't real.
Well, here's the question I have now, right? Has UFC been and I've maintained this. This is why I didn't like what Conor was doing for years. He is a douche, but he also was, really breaking down what UFC is meant to be. Has this damaged the concept, the brand of UFC, as such as it's real? It's it's not WWE, because it really, really feels like WWE now. Yeah.
Well, you see, the thing is that I think depending on what you're talking about in terms of damage, it's I think in terms of people going, oh, this is fake? Not so much, because people buy into it pretty much hook, line, and sinker, because they're you just read comments from people going, Conor had this coming because he said X, Y, and Z about Khabib in the build up to the fight, but then. There's back and forth debate about it.
On that point, that's ridiculous. It's I'm sorry, it's a fight.
I'm pretty sure when he basically handed him his ass for 3 rounds and then beat him decisively in the 4th.
Yeah, I think that was enough.
That's kind of enough. I don't think it deserved criminal. I don't think criminal assault after that point is okay.
Yeah, it's you know what? Right, he said stuff, but that's what Conor does. It's called trash talk. If you don't want to be in it, don't do it.
It's kind of like being annoyed when it's kind of like being annoyed that a bear attacked you when you're in its territory. I didn't think it was going to do what it definitely was going to do.
And here's the thing, I was actually watching the Joe Rogan show with Conor's coach, and Habib's purse was actually taken from him. Yep. So he got paid 0 for that, which
that was fair though.
That was fair, and criminal charges should be brought because of what happened. But
there's a couple of things here as well. The Nevada State Athletic Commission immediately were we're not giving you this money.
Yeah,
straight up.
Yeah, because you're a sore winner. It's you won, and you should have left it at that. And then it's away.
Look, a bad winner is someone who overly celebrates. You're exceptionally bad at winning when you commit assault.
Yeah, and I get it. Conor probably went a bit too far and stuff, but again, it's a show. It's a show, not real.
With there's also because UFC for a very long time, because they are pretty much the only game in town when it comes to big deal MMA fighting, wanted to be viewed so badly as if it is boxing. A sport in the same way that boxing or Olympic level judo or whatever is. They really want it to be seen as a legitimate sport, and stuff like this does not do anything to help that.
Dude, Conor started this.
Oh yeah.
By the way they marketed him and the way the people bought into it, and I know people say, "Oh, Muhammad Ali kind of did the same thing." Not really. Not really.
I think, let's be fair. Muhammad Ali did some insane things to people in build-ups to the fight. Was it George Foreman where before their first fight he went outside his house every night for 2 months, screaming about how much he was going to beat him up. At 2:00 in the morning. And he would do this for months before they fought. And when they fought, he had him beaten mentally.
Yeah, but that's the oldest trick in the game. You know what I mean? It's just
but that's an insane thing to do.
But the mistake. Well, the mistake that Conor made is he couldn't back it up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
but it's he's the Ric Flair heel. Of course, he can't back it up.
The only difference is it's a real fight. It's not. It's not worked. He wasn't able to take out the brass knucks. But then again, that said, judging the fact how it ended, maybe they're going to have a weapons match next.
Yeah,
maybe it'll be a Hell in a Cell match.
I think it will have to be a Hell in a Cell match. There's no other way to contain the chaos.
No, it's bring out Mick Foley as the referee, and you're good to go.
Oh, no. That would be so great and so terrible. Oh.
But guys, we have run out of time for this week. I tell you, Brent, the 2 shows we've done are absolutely flew through them.
Yeah.
But again, guys, we're working on getting more regular content out to you, but it's kind of difficult with our full schedule. So, how you can contact us?
We're trying.
We are, but to reach our contact shows, WrestleView Media on the interwebs. That's how all the shows have been put out, and that's covering all across. To get our shows directly, anything that myself and Bryn do, Nerd2, the number 2 media on SoundCloud and on iTunes. That's how you're able to reach both the desk and our other show, Nerd to Know Basis. If you want a bit more of our content, but go over to wrestleview.com, get the RSS feed. Adam has just done a huge relaunch of how the shows have been pumped out, so there's pretty much a show a day from WrestleView side of things. So WrestleView Media, Google it, subscribe to everything, fantastic shows, etc., etc. Go do it. Bryn, do it now. Bryn, how can the people reach you?
So they can reach me at CastBrainCast. That's cast_brain_cast on Twitter. And yeah, that's where they can find me. If they're looking for other good podcasts to listen to, they can go to our friends at Geeks of the Industry. They have a wide range of podcasts. They have wrestling podcasts like our one, Mega Powers Radio and WrestleBolics Radio. And then if you like films and horror, especially horror films, they have loads of stuff for you there. Yeah, definitely check them out at geekstheindustry.com.
Awesome. And guys, my Twitter is at DaraWV. The show's Twitter is at WViDesk. And if you want to send an email, WViDesk2016@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. So until next week, this has been the WrestleView International Desk. I've been Dara O'Connor. You are listening to Phoenix 92.5 FM and of course, WrestleView.com, WrestleView Media. We'll talk to you then. Bye.